Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he's been in commercial construction since 1996. He's going to talk about his industry and his personal journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, if you've watched this show before, you know I love entrepreneurs and I love artists. I mean, I feel like what I'm doing is a piece of art, and Emmett Coots is in the studio. He's with Stooc GC, and he considers himself as an artist as well. Emmett, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
So you've been in construction since 1996.
Yes, sir.
And you were sharing with me your very first project was a fire station.
It was a fire station. I came out of the Marine Corps and I needed a job, and so my mother-in-law had a lady that she placed people, and she sent me that way, and I got on the job, and I was a laborer, and I labored for the mason crew, and that's kind of where it all started.
And what I love about that is you started at the very bottom, and you've done pretty much every job there is to do in construction.
I did start at the very bottom. I labored bricks. I labored for each and every trade throughout the 4 years, and like we talked about earlier, it drove me to do well in college. I did go to Texas A&M for 4 years. I have a degree in construction science, and working in the field through the elements.
Sure.
Those people out there, they do a huge justice to our industry. It's hot, it's cold, it's wet.
Yes.
It's those people are working hard, performing their task, and I was one of them. And I didn't want to do that for my entire life.
Right.
But it did get me a college degree, so I was appreciative of it.
Well, I think it also gives you the respect of your crew. If you're asking them to do something, it's not like you haven't done it before.
Yeah, absolutely. I still do it. I still go to the jobs. I'm still intimately involved each and every day. You'll find me cleaning, picking up trash. The last project I was on, we painted shelves. We hung shelves for the client. We do a little bit of everything to keep me into the building process. I feel like once you've attained a certain level in construction, you're no longer a builder. You're an HR person, or you're trying to find work. You're a different aspect of the industry. You're not truly a builder anymore.
Absolutely. Well, let's pull up his website, and as we scroll down his website, you've worked on some major projects, including the Gaylord Texan.
Yeah, absolutely. My first project out of school with Syntex Construction was the Gaylord Texan. I was one of 66 staff members. I was first put on the concrete portion of the hotel. We poured 54,000 cubic yards in about 9 months.
Wow.
I was in charge of the post-tension. I was in charge of the rebar, the concrete, the submittals, everything that had to do with the hotel structure.
Yeah. And going back to what we said at the beginning, you're an artist, and so part of it is, you don't cut corners. You do what's right. You do what's right for the client every single time.
Yeah, we focus on quality for the clients, and being a small entrepreneur-based company, we're able to focus in on their wants and their needs and their desires. And quality, we do not cut corners. Cutting corners will eventually get you in trouble. So.
Well, I remember famously the Allen Football Stadium got in trouble because something went wrong in construction, and there were big cracks. Remember this? Big
Absolutely.
Lawsuit, and that's somewhere, and I'm not pointing fingers, but somebody cut some corners.
Apparently, somebody cut corners. Invariably, construction is not a perfect science, and things are going to happen. But as a constructor, it's our job to make sure that we mitigate those and you know, put in place processes where you won't have major catastrophes like that.
Absolutely. We're going to pull up one of your project pages off of your website, because now you kind of specialize in interior design and finish out. Why don't you talk about the kinds of projects you like to work on?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm a small base company. I've got a big heart, a big mind, but we're absolutely a small business, and we try to focus on things that I can get my hands around. We've done as small as 900 square feet, but we've also done up to 20,000, 22,000 square feet for a large integrated company here in Carrollton. And so, but what I like to do is I like to focus on things that are a little bit different. We just recently built a children's boutique in North Dallas off of Campbell. I just finished it up. It was kind of their own inspiration, their own design, and we were able to help them create it. I'm getting ready to start on a facility that's houses dogs. It's a kennel. So we try to do a little bit of everything. Yeah. It keeps it more interesting.
Emmett, what does it feel like when the client comes to you and says, I'm blown away?
It feels really good. That's ultimately the payoff, right? We work to make money, but the payoff is literally when the client's happy with their facility and they're able to do what they're meant to do, which is why they're building the facility.
Sure. Tell me about your leadership style, because I know in 30 years in construction, you've had a chance to mentor people. What is your leadership style?
My leadership style is really kind of based off the United States Marine Corps. I spent 4 honorable years there. That's where I kind of became who I am. Growing up in Oklahoma, I feel like our family, they taught me to work. We were a working class family. And then you go in the Marine Corps and they give you discipline, they give you drive, they teach you about mission accomplishment, they teach you all the things that you need to do to fight in combat. Yes. And then when you get out, you utilize those same things to push you to the end of a job or to push your crews, right? From the time you go in the Marine Corps, you're always in charge of like a fire team. Yes. Or a squad. So leadership is very heavily emphasized in the Marine Corps, and that's kind of where my leadership style started. Now, I will say in 2001, there was an old school mentality where it was, the general contractors against the subcontractors, and, it was kind of a battle. I think we started coming out of that. Sure. Because now, you get more out of people if you work with them and beside them. Yes. And so I think leadership is about getting in the trenches with your guys and about, leading from the front.
I was looking at one of the comments on social media, and somebody said, Emmett does work with military precision. What does military precision mean to you? Military precision
is, from the start, understanding what the end goal is and doing everything you need to do along the way to get there.
Wow. In the final minute or so, I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to that young person who's thinking about getting into construction. Give them some advice on if they want to be successful in this industry, what do they need to do?
There are a lot of things that will make an individual successful. I've seen people that go to school to get their degree. I've seen people start in trades. You have to find out what it is you like. I have a 15-year-old that's going to KCAL in Keller for construction, and he asked me what he should take. And I told him, take it all. Take mechanical, electrical, plumbing, because if you become a general contractor, you have to know a little bit about each part or piece. And so I would tell them, find out what you like, learn your trade, and become a craftsman at it. And if you can do those things and you're good at it, everybody will want to use you. So the possibilities are endless.
Outstanding. We're going to put his website on the screen, and please get in touch with him for all your commercial construction needs. Emmett Coots, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.